Hello, I wanted to just do a quick video to check in with everyone and kind of review some important things. So, first off, I've put it all in an announcement, but just to go back over this, up until your midterm is due, you are able to go back and retake any quizzes. You don't lose points for those being late, unlimited attempts, but not unlimited access. So that access will end when your final is due. Your midterm. The discussions for the first half, you can go back in and make up any discussions you missed. I will take points off those because those should be more timely. I did go back in and get all my responses caught up. I did personally get behind on my responses to discussion boards, but I will keep current ongoing. Um, that's why I try and be flexible with you guys. Sometimes stuff happens, things come up. So there's that. The peer discussions, I feel like those have been kind of hard this semester. Admittedly, they're hard in general. If you're new to taking art classes, if you've never done a critique, having to do so in an online platform where you might not know or interact with the people, um, can be a challenge. But I'd say push through the awkward so that you're not missing out on points because that's a big part of your participation are these two discussion boards. So please be mindful of that and so that way you're maximizing on your time and getting the most points you can with the weekly content. Um, and then any assignments that you wanted to rework, say maybe you kind of rushed something and maybe it's a bit obvious. I pointed that out and gave you some suggestions. You can make up points by reworking, resubmitting. You cannot make up the points for submitting your assignments late, but as far as aesthetics, craftsmanship, things like that, you can potentially earn some more points. So if you've missed any assignments, I would take points off for late work as well, but points deducted is better than no points. So um, I think that's what's kind of unique about this class is that you do have some room to go back and rework things, but at midterms, the first half will close, and then from midterms on, you'll be able to rework the second half items up until the final. So it does give you a bit more flexibility than some, but it doesn't mean put everything off because you do lose points on everything but the quizzes for late submissions. Um, I am also probably your pathway advisor if you are fine art or communication new media. Here's a link to book a meeting. If you want to plan ahead for your next semester, look at what classes, touch base about this class. We're going to look at the midterm momentarily. That's going to be more detailed than other assignments. But a number of things you can do. My email's right here. So please feel free to reach out. I can assist with a variety of things, and if I can, I know who does. So let's keep that in mind. So now let's take a peek at the midterm. I want to make sure everyone gets this. It's more intricate details as far as the assignment itself. So one thing, no digital option. These are all going to be done by hand. I am going to grade more strict than I have on the weekly assignments, so you want to make sure that they're the proper size, 6 inches by 6 inches. And these are the 5 designs. So realistic, caricature. You want this to be something you're creating versus something copywritten. Um, so you're making up your own. Surrealism, abstract, and then a collage. You can combine some of these styles up here. And that one's just kind of more free to do what you want. Then we get this going on. So basically, you're going to have these 5 designs listed here, and then you have column A, B, C. So A is kind of the principles we've been looking at, B, different types of balance, C, different color schemes. So if you're struggling kind of which ones you want, you're going to use each of these once. So say you do focal point, asymmetrical balance, so with contrast, primary color scheme. So for your realistic, you'd put focal point by contrast, asymmetrical balance, primary color scheme. Maybe you want to move around. So say you have an idea for your caricature, you want it to have scale and proportion. That might be a good one for that actually. And then maybe radial symmetry and something bold and vibrant with vibrating color. So then put those 3 in here and just keep filling this out. So each of these only gets used once. and you choose how you combine to go with the 5 different designs. The written portion, you want to make sure this is professionally written, going to be a PDF, and then submitting images of your work. So 2 different ways you can submit this. Naming your files is going to be really important. So you would start your written portion with this. So I have the key for your designs, and then you can go, right into the written summary. Or what I think might be easier is, do this and then a thumbnail design 1, the written portion description, thumbnail of the next. Or you can do the full size written. Um, Ideally, you'd have the thumbnail size before the description, so it's easier for me to match up. So I'm not having to guess at all. And then you have the option of having, one long PDF with everything in it, or your written portion, and then the image is separate, but they have to be labeled with which of the ones, and then I can just match it right up with this key. The grading scale down here. The big thing is making sure that you're meeting those concepts, you have them in the grid, and then your design matches up with what you've selected. So that's the midterm, and reach out if you have questions. Another thing to point out, as far as signing up for classes, if I'm your advisor, you are welcome to book a meeting with me, or you may want to work with your faculty advisor. This is kind of a general elective class for fine arts, so you might have a totally different topic area. If you go into My Main Guide, My Degree, you can run your degree audit. It'll show checks of all the classes you've done. At the end of the term, your GPA, other important info, but right at the top, it'll list your advisors. Also, if you scroll down a little bit further than here, there'll be academic information that'll list them there too. And if you don't know their email, if you go up to the directory, you can just type in their name down at the bottom, and you can pull up their email, phone number, office location, all of that. So you have my email, you have my booking link, or you can look up your advisor, type in their information, and that shows where to find them physically if you have an in-person meeting. But yeah, so to kind of sum it up, get caught up if you fell behind. You might lose some points, but I'd rather have you get some points because I want to see you all do good. This is a fairly intensive course. There's a lot that you're doing, but the learning outcomes are worth the time and investment. And it's really fundamental to understand art, design, and some future classes you'll have. But yeah, so I'm very open to meeting with people to discussing. If you have questions, let me know. If I saw you're falling behind, I've sent you an email. So yeah, if you need help, let me know. And I hope you all are having a good semester so far.